Hey everybody, it's the Colts, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they come in riding high. Just 1 loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Come on now,
So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Here we go. 120. It's our time.
Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
Let's go, boy.
That's good for 28 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wentz will try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Jones. On the crossing route, complete. It's Williamson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs? Because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Crunch time, defense.
Jones to throw again. That's complete to Gallman. For the Eagles, a look now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. And they're going to be tough to throw on, no doubt. Currently ranked 3rd in the NFL against the pass.
They may be ranked 3rd against the pass in the league, but they're the best that I've seen so far. Sometimes the numbers don't tell the full story.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. And watch that. And watch the ball.
Now Jones. Got a man, Slayton. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Gallman will run it. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. The numbers for Gallman a week ago: 7 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
And only 7 carries in last week's game, and I just don't know how any runner can really get loose and feel like they're into the game with that few carries. You've got to get that number up to around 15.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. Jackson. You draw quarters.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Off the play fake. Jones. He'll buy some time right. Got a man. It's Tanyan complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's Gallman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Wentz on the draw, leaves it for Sanders. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A big pickup there for the Eagles' 1st down, 18 yards.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. A look now at the starters for the Giants defensively. They were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass. You know, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he's going to get this pretty close to the 1st down marker at the Giants' 31. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Wentz on target there to Jeffrey, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So now then the penalty's got them set up with a 1st and goal. Wentz on the give to Sanders. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
On goal-to-goal runs, When you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that?
on, what does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that part. I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll begin with a run by Gallman. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now Jones to throw on 3rd down. And out across midfield down to the 45.
We play to win. Let's go.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now Gallman. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And down to the 27-yard line. Give them 18 there, and the Giants have a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Jones now on 1st and 10. He's going to let it. And Ingram's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants have taken the lead. What a great weapon. So often, such a big mismatch.
And there's no route he can't run. You name it, he's going to do it. And he's a matchup nightmare for the defense. No matter who they put on him, he's going to win the battle.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Wentz to throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Now Sanders. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 2nd down, it's Sanders. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wentz now on first down. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Completes it to Lee. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress, and he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Marquise Lee, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Certainly there are good things about quick strike offenses that score fast, but a long drive can also work to your advantage as well.
In so many ways, Brandon, because number one, you get them tired, but the big one is mentally. They can't figure out how to slow you down, how to get off the field, how to get the ball back. They go to the bench wondering, what are we going to do next time in order to stop those guys?
New York set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath.
It's caught inside the 25. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big play there for the Giants. 42 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, you know, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Jones signaling, let's go, trying to get his guys up to the line. On 2nd and a yard, Jones, he'll complete this to Ingram, his tight end. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's Carson Wentz now and the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field. Try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. 5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on third. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And as they approach halftime, it's the Redskins who have the lead in that one. Dwayne Haskins, responsible for the lone touchdown in the game thus far, as he's thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Andy Dalton with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Chiefs. Ezekiel Elliott, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And New York set to take the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Throwing Jones. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Ready. Looking to throw again on second down. Jones, that's complete to Slayton. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down.
Mike's 59. Mike's 59. Mike's 59. Mike's 59. Hey. Check 59.
Here's Jones, operating from the gun. Catch made by Slayton. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Darius Slayton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
A drive there of just 4 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he connects with Ertz. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards and a first down for Philly.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even
blitz coming, and down he goes. Alec Ogletree coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack on first down, Wentz throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And that is incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way, because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Hurts over the middle. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. From the red zone now, Wentz. This is caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Marquise Lee with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Check 13. Check 13. Check 24. Check 24. Ready, go. Let's go.
The drive begins with a handoff to Gallman. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Jones finds his tight end Ingram. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Ready, ready. 15-1. 15-1. Hey, Haywood. Check. 53. Back.
Jones from the gun on 3rd down. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
17 yards and a 1st down for Philly.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. Nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Throwing is Wentz. And this is Hurts with it, right side. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. It's brought in by Jeffrey. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle 1st down. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body. Ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control, and you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
Now Wentz. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Wentz again. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
The ball still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run. So now a little soul searching on 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Giants are going to get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Nigel Bradham brings him down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. This is Gallman. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Hey, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Your trip is here, baby. Your trip is here.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2. At the Eagles' 42-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. SOS.
They try again with Scarborough. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
61, matchbox lights. 5.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Come off the ball, hard.
I go.
From the gun, Jones. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jannard Avery. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Wentz. And it's incomplete. That was DeAndre Baker that time who was able to break that one up. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Wentz going to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Now Wentz. He finds Dorsett, it's complete. And he gets it down to the 32. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Now Wentz. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on first down. Wentz to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Wentz. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And it's 3rd down. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to tell.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Giants are going to get the football back. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, dude.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. Check, 53's mine. Check, 53's mine.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking for Shepard deep. Oh, trying to fit it into Shepard, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he's going to go down as time has now run out on this game. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Giants, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, The loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.